What's up, guys? Figured I'd work a little piece of Alabama coastal today. Don't work this stuff often, but I have made some pretty cool points from it. This is a sweet little Kirk corner notch I made probably about a year ago. It's been in my keeper case for a long time. And you know, from time to time I sell certain points, so if y'all want to reach out concerning this one, you can if you want it. But just a little heated Kirk corner notch, nothing crazy. But anyways, we got some similar looking material here. Now, in the last video I used this solid copper bopper. When you're working with heated coastal, it's best to go with these lead-filled ones. Personally speaking, the heavier or the denser it is, or the denser bopper you have, the more likely it'll put some incipient cracks in the stone, just little hairline fractures. And anybody who flint knaps knows that is not what you want ever at all. And so we're going to work with this. Now, why did I beat down this area? That's to isolate this just a tad bit more. Just a hair more. Now this strike will kind of tell us what the stone is all about. It may hinge out, but no, it wrapped over. That was good. So some of this stuff can be a little bit drier, but you can see a cool little fossil in there. Or really it's a dendrite area around, likely just a shell of some kind. But some pretty neat material. Comes in a variety of different colors. This is kind of a black one. I was working the other day. It has a little orange in it, a lot of fossils. Some pretty neat material. Got pink, all sorts of stuff over here. Let's see what we can do here. Now, there's some cortex around this strike, so this may not fare us very well. No, it did good. Apparently I put a decent little heat treat on it, so I will take that all day, every day. Now looky here, you see that little, I don't know, it looks like spilled ice cream right in through here. You'll notice that characteristic on a lot of Flint River chert. Where's a good piece here? Yeah, like right there. Same kind of formation, but different color. Different color. Now, whenever I'm a little ways off and I'm unsure if the thickness of this will actually carry around, I'll often take this here, although it's a good platform and honestly it'd probably do well. I like to clip it, so I'll show you what I mean. You can use any bopper. The best way to do it is to get a small one. Usually one that's, where's my small? Man, I'm losing my boppers here now. Oh, there it is. Is to just lower this a little bit more. How do you lower this a little bit more? You strike here. You strike that way. That lowered it. Just dives a little pocket out. So it's nothing really fancy or nothing, but it can help if you're in a situation like that. Just clear out a little bit more material there. And you're not losing too much. And you can even raise, whoopsies, you can raise this edge up a little bit more if you really wanted to really lower that one. And then if you wanted to isolate it, you could always strike here. There's really no need to, but you could. And so there's some tips. Now, I didn't have to do all that, but Honestly, I kind of made the platform worse. It's not really ideal for these boppers, this platform. But worked out great. Worked out a-okay. Got a decent little flake. But hopefully that little bit of a demonstration can help somebody out there who's might be struggling with it a little bit. See, we took a little bit more there as well. You can come over and even with a big bopper, isolate it. And it doesn't have to take much, just a little bit. And I like to do kind of a V shape on my, when I braid. I'll have to show that as well. And that one, although this is rough material, or rougher than most, it was able to carry. So sometimes that can help if you're struggling with getting a good flake off. You know, try some of those tips. Now here you got a really low platform here. Now here's really low, but notice that's not even, I mean, that's not, you can't, it's like a 90-degree angle. But here, up here, that's more feasible. That looks a lot better. However, there's not much to go. So on these, I like to hit really high instead of right on the edge and clip it, because I want to get over that hump. So how can I demonstrate that? Maybe here. I'll demonstrate it here. I don't want to, but I will. So here you have kind of a flat plane, and I'm wanting to run this platform, very good platform, but it's kind of thick here. And this is what happens if I just kind of bite the edge. Now it's gonna work fine, but if I just kind of bite the edge, it'll roll over. See, it rolled over into the flat area. But like, you're still, I see this all the time. Like, you didn't accomplish anything because you still got all this mass there. And so you got this platform over here, and no, right here. And like, I could just roll it over, pink. Or you can hit higher on it. See, much more distance between where it broke off and not. It'll usually produce a slightly wider entrance into the big area. And look at that big chasm we took out. That thick chasm, because we struck high on it. Not necessarily in, but we struck high, and that was enough. So here, you know, if you're looking to keep convexity, sure, but that area is still super thick. Notice we didn't gouge anything out, we just kind of rolled over. Here we gouged and rolled. So maybe that helps you too, depending on what you're trying to do. Now this is something neat here. This is how I like to braid these whenever there's a dip. You want to braid down. Again, because you're trying to remove that dip. So you make this lower so that it's more rounded. And then we're usually able to, if you hit on a higher area, this is the lowest area, over here is a tad bit higher, hit on the highest. Or highest meaning this direction. Because this is super low, that might not run. Or in other words, the lower or the higher it is, the more dip. So here, more dip. Up here, a little higher, there's gonna be, or it's gonna be further down this direction, so there's more. I don't know if that makes sense. You'll just have to trust me. And we're able to shoot into the piece. across. Shoot across. I'm going to try to get this flat side not so flat. But before I do, I want to show you something. So another technique you can do if you have, some good platforms to run off each side. Sometimes, let's say you don't, you might have to strike from the base. Well, it's not always easy. Usually I like to strike more in than down on the base. But these little strikes, notice where they terminate. Also, this is going to be my base here. So that terminated right there. Of course, if you're trying to conserve width, this one ended right there. If you're trying to conserve width, thinning from the base and the tip can be good. Now, why did I mention shooting from the base and noticing where they terminate? Because often where they terminate, you can draw off a good flake. Now, funny enough, the way these terminated, and because the back end was lifted up so much, there's really not much to shoot across. But if we were to do it on this side where there's already a big hump, actually I may do that. Now this isn't what I typically do, guys, and these aren't going to go very far because it's flat, but I think it'll demonstrate the point either way, I hope. Alright, so just a little bit of biting right there, but you notice there's kind of a, it rolls up and then it terminated there. Well, you can often take a strike across that termination to get you started. Now this isn't going to roll to the other side, but it will go halfway. And so you can use those little shoots. And again, you don't want to just, but you'd like to gouge those out if you can. And so that's just one of a number of techniques. And once you get that one, you can then shoot this flake. Now you can, what's the next one? Kind of gauge where you want your next strike to be, because this side is flat as all get out. But now we got a little ridge to run, isolated on one side. And now, now we're pretty good. So we keep working down, and sometimes you're gonna have to raise it up when there's not a lot of goody there to hit. And sometimes platforms will fail. It just won't be as good as what you want them to be. But I can do the same thing, the opposite direction. If I get kind of hung up somewhere, I didn't really get hung up, but I think this will be better to do it this way. Now we can collapse into one final strike here, which should only go halfway. Yeah. And so now we got everything flaked here, run up. Now you could take a big long strike up through here, but then you kind of ruin your flake pattern. Anyways, I'll stop there, 15 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just a little fooling around. I've got that Kirk corner notch, but I also got this cool little Savannah River blade from Tallahassee that I made. It's not from a slab, believe it or not, but just a cool little symmetrical Savannah River. So if you want that one, you can let me know as well. Just shoot me an email. But all right, guys, I think that'll do it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll fool with something tomorrow, and appreciate y'all watching as always. Take care.